Have you ever felt that someone deeply cares for you, yet they never put it into words? Have you ever wondered if love is more than just grand romantic gestures and poetic confessions? Love, when it is real, often reveals itself in the quietest ways, through subtle actions, fleeting glances, and small but meaningful gestures. As a doctor specializing in the health and psychology of older adults, I have witnessed firsthand how love shapes our emotional well-being. True affection, especially as we age, becomes less about dramatic proclamations and more about the small, persistent acts of care that accumulate over time. Today on Golden Years Balance, we will explore the hidden signs of true love and what they mean for your relationships, your health, and your emotional balance. This video will help you uncover these signs, not just in romantic relationships, but also in friendships, family connections, and other bonds of deep affection. But before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more insights on emotional well-being, aging gracefully, and building fulfilling relationships in your golden years. Now, let's dive into these revealing signs of love that many people overlook. Number 1, they mirror your actions without realizing it. Have you ever noticed someone unconsciously adopting your mannerisms, expressions, or even speech patterns? This phenomenon, known as mirroring, is a natural and subconscious way of building rapport and deepening emotional connections. It occurs when one person unintentionally imitates another's body language, tone of voice, or behavior, often as a means of fostering understanding and closeness. Mirroring is deeply rooted in human psychology and social interaction. It plays a crucial role in developing relationships, strengthening emotional ties, and enhancing communication. While it often goes unnoticed, it is a powerful indicator of empathy and connection. Understanding this behavior can help you become more aware of the silent signals people send when they feel comfortable and emotionally close to you. Neurologically, mirroring is linked to mirror neurons, specialized brain cells that activate when we observe someone else's actions. These neurons allow us to experience a sense of what others feel, contributing to emotional bonding and social cohesion. When someone mirrors your actions, their brain is subconsciously aligning with yours, creating an unspoken sense of connection. Researchers have found that mirroring plays a significant role in human development. Infants, for example, learn social behaviors by imitating their parents. This natural inclination continues into adulthood, shaping our interactions in friendships, romantic relationships, and professional settings. In my years of experience as a doctor specializing in elderly wellness, I have observed numerous instances of mirroring among couples, friends, and even caregivers. One story that stands out is that of Mr. Harold and his wife. Mr. Harold was an 82-year-old retired teacher who regularly attended our wellness group meetings with his wife, Mrs. Evelyn. They had been married for over 5 decades, and their bond was evident in everything they did. Over time, I noticed something fascinating. Whenever Mr. Harold took a sip of his tea, his wife did the same. When he adjusted his posture, she followed suit. They would often laugh in the same rhythm, nod at the same time, and even finish each other's sentences. None of these behaviors were conscious. They weren't trying to copy each other. It was simply an instinctive reflection of their deep emotional connection. Even in moments of silence, their synchronization spoke volumes about the closeness they had built over the years. Their mirroring wasn't just a habit, it was a testament to their mutual understanding and love. Mirroring occurs in all types of relationships, not just romantic ones. Here's how it manifests in different settings. 1. Romantic relationships. When two people are romantically attracted to each other, they often mirror each other's body language and speech patterns. This subtle mimicry signals emotional attunement and increases attraction. For instance, if one partner leans in slightly, the other may instinctively do the same. If one starts using certain phrases or slang, the other might unconsciously adopt them. This synchronization fosters a sense of harmony and emotional security in the relationship. 2. Friendships. Close friends often mirror each other's gestures, tone of voice, and even fashion choices over time. This natural synchronization helps strengthen their bond and create a sense of belonging. If you've ever noticed a friend picking up your expressions or gestures, it's likely a sign of how connected they feel to you. 3. Professional and social settings. In workplace environments, mirroring can be a powerful tool for building rapport and trust. Sales professionals, for example, often use mirroring techniques to establish connections with clients. When a salesperson subtly mimics a customer's posture or speaking style, it creates a subconscious sense of familiarity, making the interaction smoother and more persuasive. Similarly, in social situations, mirroring can enhance communication and create a sense of mutual understanding. If someone mirrors your gestures during a conversation, it indicates they are engaged and feel comfortable in your presence. 4. Caregiver and patient relationships. In healthcare and caregiving roles, mirroring can be a vital component of compassionate care. When a caregiver naturally aligns their tone and body language with that of a patient, it helps foster trust and emotional comfort. Patients, especially older adults, tend to feel more at ease when they sense that their caregiver is attuned to their emotions and behaviors. Understanding mirroring can help you navigate relationships more effectively. Here are some key takeaways. 1. Recognize it as a sign of connection. If you notice someone mimicking your movements, expressions, or speech patterns, take it as a sign that they feel emotionally close to you. It's an unspoken indicator of trust and comfort. 2. Use mirroring to build rapport. In professional and social settings, subtle mirroring can help establish stronger connections. If you want to build rapport with someone, try gently matching their posture, speaking pace, or energy level. 3. Be mindful of mirroring in relationships. In romantic and close relationships, mirroring often happens naturally. However, being aware of it can help you appreciate the depth of your emotional bond with others. 4. Enhance communication through mirroring. If you're in a conversation where you want to foster trust and understanding, consciously mirroring the other person's body language can create a sense of alignment and empathy. 5. Observe the absence of mirroring. Conversely, if someone consistently does not mirror your actions, it may indicate emotional distance or disengagement. While this isn't always a negative sign, it can provide insight into the dynamics of a relationship. Mirroring is one of the many ways humans connect on a deeper level without needing words. It is an instinctive, subconscious act that signals understanding, trust, and emotional closeness. Whether in romantic relationships, friendships, or professional interactions, mirroring plays a vital role in strengthening bonds and fostering meaningful connections. The next time you notice someone subtly reflecting your actions, take a moment to appreciate the silent yet powerful connection at play. It's a reminder that the deepest forms of communication often occur not through words, but through the unspoken language of human connection. Number 2. They withdraw at unexpected times. Love is a complex emotion, often layered with unspoken fears, hopes, and insecurities. One of the most confusing behaviors in relationships, romantic or otherwise, is when someone who appears affectionate and engaged suddenly becomes distant. This abrupt shift can be unsettling, leaving the other person questioning what went wrong. However, rather than being a sign of disinterest, this withdrawal often signals something deeper, an internal struggle with emotions too overwhelming to express. At the heart of this behavior is a deep-seated fear of vulnerability. Many people, particularly those who have been hurt in the past, find it difficult to reveal their true feelings. They may crave connection, but at the same time, fear the potential pain that intimacy can bring. This paradox creates an emotional push and pull dynamic. They are drawn to closeness, but retreat the moment they feel too exposed. Psychologists have identified different attachment styles that influence how people behave in relationships. Individuals with an avoidant attachment style, for example, often struggle with emotional closeness. They may deeply care for someone but instinctively withdraw to protect themselves from potential hurt. On the other hand, those with anxious attachment may react strongly to such withdrawal, fearing abandonment and seeking reassurance. This cycle can create tension in relationships, where one partner pulls away while the other pursues, leading to misunderstandings and emotional exhaustion. Some individuals experience emotions so intensely that they need time to process them privately. Instead of expressing their feelings outright, they withdraw to regain emotional balance. This behavior is not about rejecting the other person, but about self-regulation. For these individuals, processing love, affection, or deep connection requires solitude. Unfortunately, their withdrawal can be misinterpreted as coldness or indifference when, in reality, they are struggling to navigate their own emotions. If you notice someone withdrawing at unexpected times, it can be helpful to recognize the potential triggers that might be causing this reaction. Some common triggers include moments of deep connection. Sometimes people withdraw after a particularly intimate conversation or experience because they feel exposed and unsure of how to handle their emotions. Fear of rejection. If someone has experienced rejection in the past, they may instinctively distance themselves before they perceive it happening again. Overwhelming emotions. When emotions become too intense to handle in the moment, withdrawing can be a coping mechanism to regain control. Past trauma. People who have been hurt in previous relationships may subconsciously associate closeness with pain, leading them to pull away as a defense mechanism. When someone withdraws, the instinctive response might be to chase after them, demanding explanations or reassurance. However, this can often push them further away. Instead, a more effective approach is to practice patience and understanding. Give them space, but stay available. Respect their need for distance while reassuring them that you are there when they are ready to reconnect. Communicate without pressure. Let them know that you value your relationship and are open to talking when they feel comfortable. Recognize their patterns. If this behavior is recurring, try to identify patterns and understand what triggers their withdrawal. Encourage emotional expression. Gently encourage them to share their thoughts and feelings without making them feel cornered or obligated. Take care of your own emotional well-being. If you're in a relationship with someone who frequently withdraws, ensure that you are also prioritizing your emotional health and setting healthy boundaries. While it is important to be patient and understanding, it is equally crucial to establish healthy boundaries. If someone's withdrawal is causing you distress or leaving you in a state of constant uncertainty, it may be necessary to have an open conversation about your needs as well. In healthy relationships, both individuals should feel secure and valued. If one person's withdrawal creates an ongoing cycle of emotional turmoil, it may be worth seeking guidance from a counselor or relationship expert. Open communication and mutual understanding are the keys to navigating this complex dynamic. The tendency to withdraw at unexpected times is a deeply human response, often rooted in fear, past wounds, and the overwhelming nature of emotions. Rather than interpreting withdrawal as rejection, it is important to approach it with curiosity and compassion. By understanding the psychology behind this behavior and responding with patience, we can create a space where love is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced, even in its most uncertain moments. Love, after all, is not just about grand gestures or constant presence. Sometimes it is found in the quiet spaces between words, in the moments of absence that make the heart long for connection. And sometimes it is hidden behind the walls we build, not to keep others out, but to keep ourselves safe until we are ready to let love in. Number 3, they playfully tease or joke with you more than others. A sign of affection? Love and affection manifest in various ways, and sometimes it isn't expressed through deep words or grand romantic gestures. Instead, it appears in the form of light-hearted teasing and playful banter. If you notice that someone teases you more than others, it might not just be casual fun, it could be their way of showing they care. But why do people tease those they like? Is it a natural response, a psychological pattern, or simply a reflection of personality? Let's explore the science, psychology, and real-life experiences behind this behavior. Playful teasing is a common social behavior that serves multiple purposes. It can create a bond between two people, ease social tension, and even serve as a flirting technique. The way someone teases you can reveal much about their feelings. Psychologists suggest that teasing allows people to test boundaries, gauge reactions, and build intimacy without taking a major emotional risk. When a person likes someone, they want to engage with them, but direct expressions of affection can feel vulnerable. Teasing provides a middle ground, a way to connect while maintaining a sense of playfulness and control. Why do people tease those they like? 1. It's a safe way to show affection. When someone is unsure of how their feelings will be received, they might use teasing as a way to interact. Unlike direct compliments or confessions, teasing is light-hearted and leaves room for ambiguity. If the teasing is well received, it encourages further interactions. If it is ignored or rejected, the person can brush it off as just a joke. 2. It strengthens bonds. Teasing can create a sense of shared history and inside jokes, which build emotional connections. Think about how close friends develop unique ways of communicating, often poking fun at each other's quirks. This playful behavior makes interactions feel more personal and special. It's a form of flirting. In many cases, playful teasing is a classic flirting technique. It mimics childhood interactions where kids tease the ones they secretly like and carries over into adulthood as a way to attract attention and spark interest. 4. It keeps the atmosphere light. Romantic tension can sometimes feel intense or overwhelming. Playful teasing helps keep the mood light and enjoyable, allowing two people to interact without pressure. 5. It helps test compatibility. Some people use teasing as a way to see how well someone can handle humor, sarcasm, or witty banter. A good sense of humor and the ability to laugh at oneself are often attractive qualities. Not all teasing is a sign of affection, and it's important to recognize the difference between playful, healthy teasing and mean-spirited or hurtful teasing. Healthy teasing, the person ensures you're comfortable and never takes the joke too far. It's balanced. If they tease, they also accept being teased in return. The teasing is based on harmless topics, e.g. your favorite TV show, your habit of always ordering the same food. The person often smiles or laughs while teasing, showing that it's meant in good fun. Hurtful teasing, it feels more like criticism than playfulness. It targets personal insecurities, e.g. appearance, intelligence, personal struggles. It's one-sided. You don't feel comfortable teasing them back. The person continues even after you've expressed discomfort. If teasing ever makes you feel bad or uncomfortable, it's important to set boundaries and communicate your feelings. Healthy relationships, whether friendships or romantic, should always be based on mutual respect. If someone teases you in a fun and affectionate way, how should you respond? Play along. If you enjoy the interaction, respond with your own witty remark. A little back and forth teasing can strengthen bonds and make conversations more fun. Use humor. A good way to respond to teasing is to laugh it off and show that you're in on the joke. This keeps the interaction positive and playful. Tease back lightly. If you feel comfortable, tease them back in a similar way. Just make sure it remains light-hearted and respectful. Acknowledge it positively. If you sense that the teasing is coming from a place of affection, you can acknowledge it with a smile or a simple, "Oh, so you like teasing me, huh?" This can sometimes encourage the other person to open up about their feelings. Set boundaries if needed. If the teasing ever crosses a line, don't be afraid to speak up. A simple, "Hey, that one actually hurt a bit," or "let's keep it playful," can help guide the interaction in a more comfortable direction. Many relationship experts and psychologists agree that playful teasing is often a sign of affection when done appropriately. If someone goes out of their way to engage with you in a fun and teasing manner, it likely means they enjoy your presence and find joy in interacting with you. However, teasing should always be respectful and considerate. If someone teases you in a way that makes you feel bad about yourself, it may not be a sign of affection, but rather an unhealthy form of communication. Playful teasing is a subtle yet meaningful way of expressing interest and affection. Whether it appears in childhood friendships, adult relationships, or even professional settings, it serves as a way for people to bond and connect. If someone teases you more than others, take a moment to observe their behavior. Do they smile while teasing? Do they only tease you in a fun and light-hearted way? Do they ensure you're comfortable and never cross a line? If so, there's a good chance they're doing it because they like you. Next time someone playfully teases you, consider what it means. It might just be their way of saying, "I enjoy your company more than you think." Number 4, they remember the little things. Do you have someone in your life who remembers small details about you that even you forget? Maybe a friend who recalls your favorite coffee order, a spouse who remembers the exact way you like your pillow arranged before bed, or a sibling who brings up a joke from years ago that still makes you laugh. These little moments may seem trivial, but they hold significant meaning. They are powerful indicators of deep affection, love, and emotional connection. When someone genuinely cares, they don't just pay attention to the big milestones in your life, they cherish the seemingly insignificant details as well. Our brains are wired to prioritize information about people who are important to us. When we care about someone deeply, we unconsciously commit details about them to memory. This is due to a concept in psychology called selective attention. Our minds filter and focus on information that is meaningful to us. For example, if you are in love with someone, you might naturally remember small quirks about them, the way they scrunch their nose when they laugh, their love for a particular type of music, or even their favorite childhood story. This happens because the brain releases oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which strengthens emotional bonds and enhances memory related to loved ones. In contrast, when we do not have a strong emotional connection with someone, our brain does not prioritize remembering details about them. That's why you might forget a colleague's favorite color, but recall your best friend's favorite ice cream flavor from years ago. It's not about having a good or bad memory, it's about what, or rather who, is important to us. Remembering little things about someone makes them feel valued, seen, and understood. It is a way of saying, I care about you and you matter to me. In relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, this practice builds a strong foundation of trust and appreciation. For instance, imagine coming home after a long, stressful day, only to find that your spouse has prepared your favorite meal without you even asking. Or a friend surprises you with a book you casually mentioned wanting to read months ago. These moments are priceless because they demonstrate attentiveness, thoughtfulness, and love without the need for grand gestures. One of the key elements that differentiate a surface-level relationship from a deep and meaningful bond is how well each person remembers and acknowledges details about the other. This applies to all types of relationships. Romantic relationships. Partners who remember small details, like how their significant other likes their coffee, their favorite movie, or their childhood dream, create stronger emotional intimacy. It shows they listen and genuinely care. Friendships. A true friend remembers your favorite song, the name of your pet, or that you have an important job interview coming up. This kind of attentiveness makes friendships more enduring and meaningful. Family bonds. Parents who remember small things about their children, like their favorite bedtime story or the way they like their sandwiches cut, build deeper emotional security and connection with them. Siblings who recall childhood inside jokes create lifelong bonds of affection and nostalgia. Work relationships. Even in professional settings, remembering small details about colleagues such as their birthday, their favorite coffee order, or an event they were excited about can foster a positive and supportive work environment. Many psychologists and relationship experts agree that the secret to long-lasting and fulfilling relationships is mindful attention to detail. Dr. John Gottman, a renowned relationship expert, emphasizes the importance of what he calls bids for connection. These are small moments where someone expresses something about themselves and their partner or friend either acknowledges it or ignores it. For example, if your spouse says, "I love the way the sunset looks tonight," and you respond with enthusiasm or acknowledgement, you are strengthening your connection. On the other hand, if you dismiss it or ignore it, you miss an opportunity to deepen your bond. The little things matter. If you want to improve your relationships and make people feel valued, here are some practical tips to help you remember small but meaningful details about others. Be present. When talking to someone, truly listen. Put away distractions like your phone and make eye contact. The more engaged you are, the more likely you are to remember details. Take mental or physical notes. If someone mentions something important, take a mental note or even jot it down in a notes app if necessary. This can be especially useful for remembering birthdays, favorite foods, or upcoming important dates. Make connections. Try linking new information to something familiar. If your friend loves lavender tea, Associate it with a memory or a story that will help you recall it later. Practice repetition. Mentioning or reflecting on details soon after hearing them reinforces your memory. For example, if someone tells you they love hiking, you might bring it up in a future conversation. I saw a great hiking trail and thought of you. Show thoughtfulness in small ways. Implement what you remember into small gestures. If you recall that a coworker prefers tea over coffee, surprise them with their favorite tea one morning. These actions create lasting positive impressions. Not everyone takes the time to remember the small things. If you have people in your life who do, cherish them. These are the individuals who genuinely care about you, not just in the grand, obvious ways, but in the little, quiet ways that truly matter. Likewise, strive to be that person for others. Relationships are built on the accumulation of small moments, not just the big milestones. The simple act of remembering something seemingly insignificant can make a profound difference in someone's day and ultimately in their life. So the next time someone recalls a tiny detail about you, whether it's your favorite dessert, a book you once mentioned, or a song that makes you nostalgic, pause for a moment and appreciate it. It's not just memory at work, it's love in action. Number 5, they notice you even when you think no one is looking. One of the strongest indicators of secret affection is when someone watches over you when they believe you aren't aware. This type of attention is usually full of unspoken emotion, revealing a level of care and consideration that words might never express. In our fast-paced world where distractions are abundant, genuine attention is a rare and precious thing. When someone consistently notices the little things about you, your moods, your habits, your preferences, it's often a sign that they hold a deep emotional connection to you. Sometimes this attention is subtle, like a fleeting glance across a crowded room, or a quiet moment when they adjust something for your comfort without you even realizing it. But why does this silent observation matter? It's because love and affection are not always expressed through grand gestures or words. Often, they reside in the quiet moments of presence, in the small, unnoticed acts that speak volumes about someone's true feelings. People who secretly care about you tend to observe you in ways that others don't. This behavior stems from an emotional investment that often goes beyond mere friendliness. Psychologically, when someone is attracted to or deeply cares for another person, their brain naturally becomes more attuned to that person's actions, emotions, and needs. This is due in part to a phenomenon known as selective attention, a cognitive process where the mind focuses more on what is deemed important. If someone frequently catches themselves looking at you, even subconsciously, it's a sign that you hold a significant place in their thoughts. Their emotions draw them to you, making them more aware of even the smallest changes in your demeanor. This kind of quiet attention can also be linked to the emotional mirroring effect. People who feel connected to each other tend to mirror each other's emotions and behaviors. If someone likes you, they may instinctively tune into your moods, reacting to them even before you verbally express how you feel. If you're wondering whether someone secretly cares about you, here are some subtle signs to look out for. 1. They make eye contact, then look away quickly. Have you ever noticed someone glancing at you, only to quickly look away when you catch them? This is often a sign of hidden affection. They may be watching you without realizing it, and when they become aware of it, they instinctively avert their gaze. 2. They remember small details about you. When someone remembers things you barely recall mentioning, it means they've been paying close attention. Whether it's your favorite coffee order, the way you like your chair adjusted, or a story you shared months ago, these little details indicate a deeper level of attentiveness. 3. They adjust their behavior around you. If someone subtly changes their posture, voice, or mannerisms when you're around, it could be an unconscious sign that they are aware of your presence and want to make a good impression. 4. They react to your moods without you saying anything. Have you ever been in a bad mood and noticed that someone quietly adjusted their behavior to make you feel better? Maybe they offered you something comforting, changed the topic of conversation, or simply gave you space. This kind of intuitive response is often a sign of deep care. 5. They position themselves close to you. In social settings, people naturally gravitate toward those they feel connected to. If someone frequently positions themselves near you, even in a crowded room, it's likely they feel a pull toward you, even if they don't consciously express it. If you catch someone looking at you when they think you're not paying attention, it often means they feel something deeper than casual interest. Love, after all, doesn't always need words. It speaks in the silence between moments. The beauty of quiet observation is that it reveals genuine care. Unlike performative gestures meant to impress others, this type of attention is authentic and deeply personal. When someone consistently notices you in ways that others don't, it means you matter to them in a way that words might not be able to express. If you suspect someone feels this way about you, consider how you feel about them. If the feeling is mutual, small acts of acknowledgement, like holding eye contact for a moment longer or expressing gratitude for their attentiveness, can strengthen your connection. On the other hand, if you're the one secretly observing someone out of affection, think about whether you'd like to be more open about your feelings. Sometimes, expressing appreciation for someone, even in small ways, can open the door to a deeper bond. Not all love stories are written in words. Some unfold in stolen glances, in quiet acts of care, and in the unspoken moments of connection. The way someone notices you when you think no one is looking is a testament to the depth of their feelings. It's easy to say, "I love you," but true affection is shown in the little things, the glances across the room, the way they remember your preferences, the way they instinctively react to your emotions. So the next time you catch someone looking at you with quiet affection, don't dismiss it as coincidence. It might just be a silent confession of the love they haven't yet put into words. Love doesn't always come in the form of dramatic declarations or sweeping romantic gestures. More often, it hides in small everyday actions, things that can go unnoticed if we were not paying attention. A gentle touch on the shoulder, a cup of tea made just the way you like it, or a quiet presence during difficult times. These are the silent yet profound expressions of love. Whether it's a spouse, a friend, or even a caregiver, these subtle signs of love remind us that we are valued and cherished. True love reveals itself in ways that often escape our notice. It might be in the way someone mirrors your habits, gently withdraws to give you space, teases you playfully, remembers small details about your life, or simply observes and supports you in silence. These moments may not make grand headlines, but they are the foundation of deep and meaningful connections. If you recognize these signs in someone, don't take their affection for granted. A simple word of gratitude, a smile, or a heartfelt acknowledgement can make a world of difference. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced love in one of these hidden ways? Share your story in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our insights on health, psychology, and well-being in your golden years. Until next time, remember, love is not always loud, but it is always present.